This is Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 11th meeting of the Michigan City Board of Cemetery Trustees. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the August 11th meeting of the Cemetery Board of Trustees. Roxanne, would you please take roll call?
Bernadette Denke, Steve Janis, Renee Bauer,
Here.
Paul Foreman,
Here.
Davis Bush,
Here.
Virginia Keating.
Here.
5 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mary Ann. Mary Ann Milzarek.
I'm here.
You were just so quiet, I didn't think.
You're just jumping the gun. Alrighty. Did everybody receive the minutes from the last board meeting?
Yes.
Any questions, changes? Hearing none, I move the minutes be approved as presented. Sarah, from Horizon.
Okay, I have the financial report for the month ending July 31, 2022. Starting at the top of the summary page with permanent maintenance Greenwood account, it was up 0.1% for the month and 0.77% year to date. The next account is the permanent maintenance Swan Lake, and it too was up 0.12% for the month and 0.7% year to date. In the extension fund account, it was up 0.09% for the month and up 0.71% year to date. In the merchandise and commissions fund account, there were payments to Matthews of $5,303.67 and Harris of $2,094.68. The account was down 0.1% for the month and down 0.1% year to date. Turning to page 2 of the account details, in the permanent maintenance Greenwood account, the money market is yielding 1.56%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.38%. The mutual fund's overall yield is at 1.3%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.24%. And the overall yield in the account is at 1.74%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.7%. On page 3 in the permanent maintenance Swan Lake account, the mutual fund's overall yield is at 1.29%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.23%. And the overall yield in the account is at 1.61%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.56%. On page 4 in the extension fund, the mutual fund's overall yield is at 1.26%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.2%. The overall yield in the account is at 1.81%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.75%. And finally on page 5, in the merchandise fund account, the mutual fund's overall yield was at 1.26%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.21%, and the overall yield in the account is at 1.44%, which is up from last month's yield of 1.21%. And I think that any questions.
Anybody have any questions, sir? Okay.
Okay, I'll turn it over to Brad.
Okay, so on the economic front, we continue to watch the big story of inflation. Seems like we've been talking about that for months. The latest CPI was up 8.5% year over year and flat month over month. So this was a good surprise for the market as it showed inflation pressures are starting to ease a bit. There is some evidence to support this, as we've seen gas prices coming down, lumber prices down 60-some% since March. Copper and other commodities across the board are coming down in price. So That's good news for the market, and it's also taken some pressure off the Fed to kind of increase their Fed funds rate at these dramatic rates. So the expectation was that they would raise 75 basis points in September, but now after this latest CPI and some of the commentary, they're thinking more of a 50 basis point raise. So it seems like the Fed has some ammo to ease up on their Fed rate hikes. The market has reacted favorably to inflation coming down. S&P 500 was down as low as 22% roughly on a year-to-date basis in mid-June. Had a strong month in July and continued here in August. And as of today, it's down about 11% year-to-date. So it's still not great, but it's dramatically better than it was 2 months ago. There's still some debate as to whether we're going to experience a recession. You may have seen in the news that we had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, which is kind of a thumbnail definition of recession, not the precise definition though. The NBER really looks at, they kind of dictate whether we're in a recession. They really look at employment as a big factor. And we're really not seeing dramatic weakness in employment. We're still seeing a tight labor market. And some of the companies that have reported earnings recently are still reporting some pretty strong numbers. So while we did have the 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, it doesn't feel like a recession yet right now. There's some speculation though that we're going to have a slowdown in the economy, or maybe starting to experience that slowdown. So there is a possibility we could see a recession in the next 12 to 18 months, but it's not set in stone. There's still hope that the Fed can accomplish this quote-unquote soft landing of the economy. So we'll keep an eye on that. The bright spot with these rising interest rates, we're starting to continue to see higher rates across the board. So as Sarah mentioned, the money market's paying over 1.5%. We haven't seen that in a long time, just for cash in the account. 1-year CDs are 3.2 right now, and I went back and looked at our May meeting, and it was paying something like 2% at that time, so it's been a dramatic increase in CD rates. 2-year CDs paying 3.3, so we've seen dramatic increases in interest rates this year. And although those interest rate increases have been a drag on fixed income funds, we're starting to see the higher interest rates starting to improve performance of those fixed income funds. So I think we talked about it before. There's a negative, or there's an inverse relationship between interest rates and existing fixed income securities. So we've seen some bad returns on fixed income funds this year, but we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel there. I looked at July numbers for fixed income funds across the board, and they were all up there now. So we're starting to see the increase in interest rates start to positively impact returns. So that's kind of all I have right now. It's a good summary, I guess, of where we're at, and if I can answer any questions.
Nice to see it come up. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think as Sarah talked about the reports, you can kind of notice the great.
Yeah, everyone was up. Yeah, which is first.
Slowly but surely. It's going to take.
First in a long time. Any questions, Sam? Do I have a motion to accept your financial report?
I'll take that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. Our financials. Let's see, both cemeteries were down again last month, or July, yeah. But it doesn't help with the cost of everything going up either. Any questions on our personal finances? Do I hear a motion to accept our personal finances?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Reading of the bills, Mark.
All Points Fire, annual fire check at Greenwood, $101. Coastal Valley Water, $10.45. Water, Greenwood, $683.97. Sewage, $23.83. Harris Precast, $2,376.12. Cable and Ace Hardware, miscellaneous repair parts, $58.08. Matthews International, $4,761.21. NIPSCO, $479.13. Republic Dumpster, $112.90. Riggs Repair Parts, $111.83. Michigan City Auto, $159.99. A1 Loggins Tree Removal Service, $12,400. July receipts. Permanent maintenance receipts, $2,370. That's all Swan Lake. Extension fund receipts, $3,834.50. Merchandise receipts, $9,296.86, for a total of $15,431.26. And those are the reading of the bills.
Do I hear a motion to pay the bills?
Yes.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Pay the bills. Superintendent's report.
We will be having our annual budget hearing with the Budget Finance Committee, and that meeting will be on Thursday, August 18th at 5 o'clock at City Hall. There is going to be approximately 3 or 4, maybe, no, let's see, five department heads before us. It starts at 5 o'clock on average. We don't get in and see the committee until usually 6:30, 7 o'clock. But that will be next week, Thursday, at City Hall. I'm not quite sure. I think it's going to be in the council chambers. They're going to probably try and do it like they did last year. So that'll be the budget for the 2023 budget. We'll go from there. I'll be down there. All right, number 2, the full-time employee that has been off on medical leave has decided he has either resigned, retired, or quit as of Friday, August 19th, as reported to the cemetery personnel from the Human Resource Director. He has also turned in his keys and everything that need to be turned in. So he's officially done as of next Friday, August 19th. I don't know why he's not coming back. If he can't physically, I don't know, but he's done as of Friday. That, in the same vein, back in June, I had turned in a request for personnel to personnel again in July, and we finally got some transfers. We didn't get transfers. It was finally put on the city out to the departments for any in-house transfers August 9th, and anybody that wants to transfer within the city has until August 16th to put an application in down at personnel. Hopefully we can get one since that one gentleman's gone now. We had one seasonal employee after the last board meeting come out here to Swan Lake, spent 2 weeks out here string trimming around all the bronze memorials, all the upright monuments, trees and bushes. And they got everything done out here in the 2-week time span. Everything was trimmed around and cut back. Looks pretty good. Of course, grass is growing again, so it's getting, nice, and they're not being full overgrown again. It's just that everything was trimmed up and looks pretty good at the time and now. The trees removed at Greenwood that were on the quote, and all stumps were ground out. And 3 trees by the garage maintenance building at Swan Lake were also removed. The Veterans Memorial at Greenwood needs to have some work done by either a brick mason or somebody. Says we're gonna have to talk to the mayor and see what he wants to do, because we don't have the personnel to build a wall around that monument. So we're gonna have to have somebody figure out what we're gonna do as far as how to display it. We've also been asked about one for Swan Lake, which is going to be, from what I understand, substantially smaller. I have been looking at areas where it could go out here by the veterans area. I just don't have any good
Ideas.
ideas of where they could go out here.
I know.
Pardon me?
I know. He asked me.
You have what?
He asked me one day about the,
Oh,
I said, we have a area, but we already got a monument out here on it. So,
the ones up in Greenwood, if we take out, there's what they did years ago on the Veterans of All Wars. They put patio blocks in a circle. And then they put a metal liner in it to keep the dirt in. Well, the patio blocks over the years have started to fall apart and crumble. And they need to either put some of those blocks like you see at Menards, those retaining wall blocks or something. We're gonna have probably a brick mason or something to come out there and make it look decent. There's also gonna have to be put a huge foundation for that size of marker and that kind of weight. Here's what they have at the 5th Marines. I don't know if I've ever showed you this or not, out in Camp Pendleton. What they did, and I would not expect that here, they didn't do the bronze one like we've had here, like he's shown. What they did is they put it on a granite marker and etched it in, which it's going to be nice. And like we've talked about in the past, I just think it just opens itself up to a certain amount of vandalism. Because, the rifle's there, I don't know. It's just one of those things, but they're gonna have to decide what they want done, if they want it in there by Veterans Day, how to go forward as far as, because originally that was supposed to be a fountain, never materialized. So they put block there, or the patio block, it looks bad. If they're gonna put something like that in there, then they need to put a stronger round base on it. But that's just,
What's the weight of that?
I have no idea.
Okay, no, I didn't
I have
know.
no idea. All I got to size, he told me a 2x2, his office person.
2 foot?
2x2 at the bottom at the base.
Oh, okay.
That's all I got ever.
Mark, are they expecting us to solve this problem, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope not. I would think they're putting it in. They want us to, we found a spot for them. Now it's for them to, I would think, to fix the spot.
Let's send a letter to the mayor's office and ask that question.
Okay,
Solve the problem, because otherwise they're gonna be standing in the parking lot with a statue expecting to be able to put it in.
Yeah.
Possibly include the city engineer to work it out.
Right. If they're spending the money, and I don't know what this thing costs, but if they're gonna spend the money on that, don't put it in with what we have right now.
No.
Because the patio blocks are just gonna
It's not gonna work.
cheapen that memorial.
They understand that, I know that they do, but as far as what's gonna replace the patio block, you need to get that settled.
Well, the thing of it is, the patio block is not going to be part of, it's just gonna be, the way I looked at it, and maybe I could be wrong, is it's right now, it's just a circle. And if you put this, and it's across from side to side, it's about 6.5 feet, 7 feet, let's say 7 feet. And it's circular. And this is 2 by 2, so you put a 2 by 2 section in there of the foundation, then you put that on there, you're gonna have all of this around.
Certainly.
And we could plant some nice flowers in there and dress up the monument, and it's gonna be a little bit further away from somebody just thinking maybe go, wait, excuse me, they could do the flowers, get that foundation and make this, instead of the patio block, make it a brick circle, or those blocks you know, like those Danvers, I think they call them Danvers blocks and stuff. And dress it up, take it up a couple feet, so when this is in there, it's also raised up. So that's just something that I thought.
Let's go back to this is going to be the same for Swan Lake as it is at Greenwood. Okay, they're going to have an identical sculpture. Problem is that it's going to be shorter. It's because they're not going to have this base. They're not going to have
that base isn't going to be on.
Well, one of the bases.
Okay.
It's not going to be as tall.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you're dealing with about the same dimensions, except that the height is going to be different.
Height and weight.
Yeah.
Weight would be
Well,
different,
weight, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he told me it's gonna be shorter.
I don't know if you want to put it where the veterans area is out here where the monuments, because those monuments that are out here were designed by school kids. When they decided to put that up in 2000 and, what was that, 8 or whatever it was, the board and VFW and all those clubs went to the schools, and actually they gave prizes to the kids. Everything that's on there except for the emblems of the service people were designed by school children in the city. And I don't know if you want to put, and that'd be nice, but I don't know where you can put it, because there's graves right up to that with the wire. So I don't know. I don't know where that would go. I've been having a little trouble trying to decipher where that should go. It should go in the veterans area.
Of course, yes.
I mean, we don't want to stick it out back in front of one of the mausoleums, or anything, but maybe, you know, the veterans area out here is large at this end where you come in and it shrinks. And the monument, that's the monument. If we put it at this end, kind of like looking over, as you were saying, looking over that veterans area, you know, where, you know what I'm saying, have the monument look like that, like it's protecting
Sure.
the veterans area.
That's a good idea.
Something at one end or another, you know, preferably after you don't. Oh, thank you very much. You would have this end over here, maybe not all the way to the end, but here's where the monument is, somewhere down in this area, right in there, and that way you could have it facing, or even at the very end, facing in. It's almost be like a
Sentinel.
sentinel. Thank you. I was going to say protector, but sentinel, it sounds better.
Sure.
And otherwise, if you come in right off of here, it's going to be a little bit further up the road. You come here, you got a lot of traffic. The only other place maybe would be right on the corner here doing the same thing. Put it at a slant where it's coming in looking over.
Okay.
But no matter where you put it, I thought it would be better on one of the outside areas. That way it would be a sentinel protecting
Exactly, yeah.
the thing.
That's a good idea. Now, are you going to also have issues with, you know, other extraneous things that are going to have to be done to put that in that maybe we can't do and the city might do?
The only thing that we'd have to find out what the exact dimensions are, and out here we'd have to put, depending on the weight, you'd have to put a foundation down. The foundation on the Veterans Memorial out here that we have is down 10 feet. That foundation is 10 feet, because that's a very, very heavy stone. We may not have to go that deep, maybe 4 or 5 feet. It's just a question of putting the cement in there and doing it. Do they want it raised? That's another question. If this is going to be smaller.
Right, and is the size as they want it, or, you know, the smaller size, is that going to work? Or would it be better to raise it? This question.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think you should address these things to the mayor's office, let him send the city engineer out, you know, I mean, that was a good idea of yours. These are beyond our capacity.
We don't have the expertise to do it. They're going to put in a nice brick circular, especially one at Greenwood. I'm not nobody in the department of brick mason or that kind of deal.
Yeah. They can get a contractor out to do that.
Yeah, I mean, see if you can get a weight on that thing, so when you start relaying messages.
Get all the information.
Yeah.
Okay. Send them a letter and ask them.
Trouble is, I've asked him, but I never get any return. Yeah,
Well, he hasn't even ordered it yet.
well, before they order it, they should know what, they should know what the size.
Well, they
Weight.
yeah.
So that's one of the things I've been toying with that out here is, like you said, sent them on one end or the other. But then do you want, and I know he said it's going to be smaller. If it's gonna be
Shorter is what he meant. It's the same stanchion, but it's not as tall.
Okay, shorter. Do we want to raise it then? That's what I'm asking him.
Well, what do you think? Because would it appear better if it was raised in there? I think that would be, but.
Of course, it'd be better raised. You don't want it flush in the ground if they're only going to go up to the bronze part or half of the granite.
Right.
You want it because you want it a little higher so it's visible.
Dominates.
Dominant, right. So
Yeah.
people say, oh, they're going to.
Well, tell them that. Tell them that in a letter. If you got any problem, call them with a letter.
I have been calling Matthews Bronze about every 2 weeks or so, our rep, because we are still not getting our granite. We're several bronze memorials behind. And all I keep getting is possibly early to mid-fall before we get our granite order, which was put in back in February. Usually we get it, if I order in February, we get it by April. And I hate to use the term with like everybody else, but we have been running into so many problems with supply line or supply chain or whatever that's called, or people wanting to do something. The Matthews Company, they cannot get people to work before the pandemic, people that were retirement age, retired. And they can't get anybody. You just don't hire somebody off the street to do cut granite or make bronze memorials, so it's been taking a while. That's pretty much on all of that. I have called several different people again. In fact, I just met with a gentleman this morning. I'm hoping he'll get back. He told me he would, with pricing on that box around the mausoleum up in Greenwood. Without mentioning any names, I will not do that. I called one company about doing the door buzzer out here. Called them several times. They've not got back. So I called another company. He's supposed to be out here either tomorrow or early next week to give me an idea quote on how much the door buzzer would be for the front. The gentleman I talked to this morning also about the box, he knows, of course, everybody knows somebody. He knows somebody who does cement, so I took him up and showed him what we needed done at the office, and he said he'd try and have a gentleman out here. The people I've talked to, I've called almost all of them several times. Basically, the last couple of times, I said, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Just let me know so I can keep moving on. For some reason, they either have enough work, they don't have enough people to do the work, so we're kind of in limbo still on those two projects.
That is not surprising.
That's where I'm at. We're all done.
Any old business? Any new business? I do notice that we missed a tree right out here that's going to be dead.
We get time, we can take that down ourselves.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be.
But I just wondered if it'd be worth having anyone come back out here. Because they got the grinding equipment to grind it down and be done with it. I mean, that dead as a doornail.
There's a lot of growth at the top yet. A lot of all these around here like that, they got growth at the top.
Anyway, just suggestion. So. Anything else? Okay, next meeting will be September 8th, 3:30 Swan Lake. And hear a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Thank you for coming.
Do you think that would be